Viewer discretion is advised for this love-themed podcast. The content may contain discussions and sensitive topics related to relationships, dating, and love. Some content may not be suitable for all listeners, especially those uncomfortable with open and vulnerable conversations. We encourage our listeners to practice self-care and to reach out to a trusted friend or professional if they need support. You have no friends, you have me. Welcome to the Lost Lover Boy Podcast. Welcome to another episode of the Lost Lover Boy Podcast. Don't you look confused. Don't give me the look like you've never been here before. This is a brand new space. That's why. You may have seen it, on me and Logan's episode. You may have seen it on the episode with me and Justice, but you've never seen it solo. You've never seen it the way we used to do it, the classic, clean-cut, solo individual way. You know what? This year, Happy New Year. Can I still tell you Happy New Year? Because I know you were expecting this January 1st, but here it is January 2nd, and you don't trust me. I know you guys have kind of, lapsed a little trust in my word, and I'm here to earn that back. I'm here to earn that back by telling you you can guarantee an episode every Wednesday or Thursday of every week. I'm gonna say Wednesday or Thursday. I be being a father sometimes. Give me a little grace. Never later than Thursday. Expect it Wednesday, but never later than Thursday. I will never disappoint you. I'm blessed to be in this space. I'm blessed to be here in 2025. A lot of people don't make it to this age, so can we clap it up for that? And I know one of these may be I don't know. But the thing about it is you clap it up for that because life hasn't been guaranteed. I've lost some family last year who I thought would make it into 2025 for sure. And they did not. You know what I'm saying? So for everybody who's lost a family member, whether it was a mother, a father, a friend, a cousin, a brother, an uncle, an aunt, whoever you lost, my prayers go out to you in mending your heart. Because a lot of times we don't speak about the aftermath of what happens and how we begin to change our character because of the losses we've endured. Now, one of the losses I've taken is a major loss I took last year was my little cousin. His name was Graydon. For everybody who was able to see the episode and see me speak about it, I gave a poem at the funeral, and it was a beautiful ceremony, but he was 13 years old. And to commemorate him, I got his face on my leg. Yes, it's still wrapped up. That's how fresh this episode is. It's that fresh. But I told myself that this year, more than any other year, I would be more intentional. I would move intentionally with the way I choose to carry myself, the way I used to date, and how I choose to show up in relationships when, the one for me finds me, of course. But intentionality is what this episode here is about. And I think the thing about it is let me take y'all back for a second. I've always understood what intentionality was. And for those who do not, it's moving with a very specific purpose in mind, moving with known and clear reason for intentions. That's why it's intentionality. I have always sought to move intentionally, but I cannot say I've always done so. Sometimes I move off expectations. Sometimes I've moved off other people's intentions for me, but never my own. Now more than ever, for the last 2-3 years, I've been moving with my own intention. And let me tell you something. God has found me in those moments. God has seen my heart in those moments and say, this kid here, this child here is doing exactly what I put him on earth to do, moving with intentions. Not only just intentions, pure intentions. They say live like God, and God is love. So I've been moving out of pure love in everything I've done, even severing relationships. It's no bad blood. I don't hate you. It's just out of love and respect for myself, I got to move around. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Like at a breakup, when you start moving with intentionality, you understand the intention for the separation, right? So it's easier to cope with. I understand this had to happen for a specific reason. When I was in the midst of my healing journey, after my breakup and everything like that, for everybody who don't know and you new here, and those haven't caught up on previous episodes, I know you will. Don't worry about it. If you're new, my favorite episode is the episode number 2, where I go over my proposal to my wife, and it's going to happen. I am a man of manifestation. It's going to happen. Very soon, you're going to see a podcast drop of me on Dear Future Wifey. I don't know if y'all know about that podcast, but shout out to my man for having me on there and pulling me on scheduling a surprise podcast at such short notice. And shout out to his production team for getting it done and showing up the way they did. But I was blessed to be on it. But anyway, when I was in the midst of my healing journey, after the breakup, I told myself everything I do would be purposeful. Every single thing I do would have purpose and a reason, right? I told myself every day I would be looking to better myself, better who I am as a man, for the woman I will one day have, for the children I will one day bring to life, for the child I now have. Shout out to my baby Logan if y'all don't know who that is. I told myself everything would be with reason, self-development. And the thing about intentionality brings so much to self. Once you start moving intentionally, intentionality brings self-awareness. Intentionality brings clarity to a lot of situations. When you can say, okay, I may not performed the task I set out to, but I do know what my intentions were behind the actions I did take. I may have taken a loss, right? And that's hard for a lot of people to understand. You may take a loss sometimes, right? But just because you took a loss and it did not go your way does not mean your intentions was off, right? And that's why they say dust yourself off and try again, baby. We got to get back out there as long as your intentions are pure. If you know why you're doing it, nobody can tell you anything. Nobody can tell you living wrong. Nobody can tell you got the wrong goal in mind. I knew what my intentions were. And the thing about it is when I show up for relationships, I know my intention is pure love. I was having a conversation with my tattoo artist, shout out my boy Ace. I was having a conversation with him and I was telling him, like, for me, a relationship, when I show up intentionally as my pure self, I'm looking to love someone the exact same way I love myself. I will not cheat myself out of meal. I will not cheat myself out of the clothes I wear. I will not cheat myself out of the goals and aspirations and dreams that I set to lay out on the table. So I will not cheat my partner. And for a lot of people, that doesn't make sense. I also came to the realization earlier, if you was on TikTok, shout out to you, but you're only ever as good a spouse as you are a parent. And do you know why that is? That's due to intentionality. You intentionally show up for that child because this is an infant, because they're unequipped to take care of life for themselves. So I have to show up, right? If everybody approached a relationship with that same mindset and that same demeanor, we'd have a lot less failed relationships out here these days. And honestly, if more people saw that you need intentions when going into a relationship. People just out here dating to date. You got niggas out here, when you on a date with that man, ask that man, why are we here? Ask that man, why are we here? If that man does not tell you, baby, because I'm trying to put a ring on it one day, hopefully, because I don't know if we're going to make it. I don't know if our goals align. I got to feel you out. But my intentions are to get there. You see what I'm saying? Intentionality. And a lot of times, self-intentions, meeting a man who has no self-intentions, oftentimes is a man who has no intentions in dating. Oftentimes is a man who have no intentions in relationships. A lot of niggas get in relationships, and women included, for the fellas who out there listening, they do it as well. A lot of people get in relationships and believe that because I'm here, that's good enough. No, if you don't have goals and intentions for this relationship, we're not going to prosper. We're not going to make it anywhere. That's why relationships become stagnant. Relationships desire just as much energy and effort as you're giving your own common goals. But people who move with intention understand these things. So what I would advocate most for you is having intentions with self. Having intentions with self, I don't know if y'all know it, but in my experience, me having clear-cut intentions with myself has lowered my anxiety when it comes to a lot of things. A lot of things. I don't worry about the results of things because I know my intentions going in. If I'm currently on tour right now. Shout out to Tonight's Conversation. Shout out to Squad. Ace, I appreciate you for everything. Our next upcoming shows is Toronto. That's January the 11th. St. Louis. That's January 19th. January 18th, we'll be in Memphis. Hey, shout out to y'all for putting the boy on because I'm grateful, right? But they asked me to be a part of Chicago. That was the very first stop that they asked me. And for those who don't live in Chicago, right? It was at McCormick Place, the Erie Crown Theater. That seats about 5,000 people. I've never been on that stage, but I've been in that room and I've viewed that stage. And I told myself, I'm a big fan of manifestation, and manifestation and intentionality go hand in hand. I'm intentional with what I want, so I know I can manifest it. I know I can speak it to the universe, and it will be returned to me in fruition. You understand what I'm saying? They go hand in hand. But I sat there in the audience. I was watching a comedy show. It was actually, I spoke about it in a post one time. The last date me and my child's mother, ex-girlfriend, had ever been on, that night, oh man, I remember that day so vividly. My intentions were to win over who I thought was the love of my life. I tried to do everything right. I'm talking about everything. And it didn't all go my way. Like, I remember her opening her own car door, and I damn near was in tears because I'm trying to do that, right? I'm trying to be this man you need, to show you need nobody else, right? And I was as good as a man could be. I was moving with intention in everything I did. She was my intention. Bettering our relationship was my intention. That was the only goal I had, right? And that day turned out to be one of the worst days of my life. Not because of her. I'm gonna make sure I make that very clear, right? Because what I learned is not all the time intentions align. A lot of people are trying to do what's best for themselves, and that may not align what you feel is best for both of you guys. And what happens is you have to part ways. That does not mean that they was out to get you. That does not mean that they wronged you. No, they did what was best for themselves, and you have to be understanding of that. You have to understand it's not always gonna go my way. But as long as my intentions were pure, that's all I could do. So I remember sitting and trying to make that night one of the best nights she's ever had. I remember that same night crying to my son saying, Daddy tried his best to keep it together. Daddy tried to keep the family together. And I remember my son wiping my eyes telling me, it's okay, Daddy, don't cry. Hugging me, and he was probably like 2 years old at the time. You know, a baby. And I think that's partially why me and Logan so close today. Like, he's seen me in my most vulnerable moments. He's seen me he's seen me in the gym, you know what I'm saying, throwing weight around. And I remember sitting in that same auditorium and saying, I'm gonna be on that stage one day. Did I know it would be for my ability to speak and resonate with people through my own emotions? No, I did not. I'm an artist, right? I make music. And for those who do know, Be Mine, my first single of 2025, just released. I haven't put out a song since 2023. This is big for me, right? It just released on all streaming platforms. So make sure you check out Be Mine. Type in Be Mine, Demetri Wiley. You will find it. Stream it, let me know what you think. It's a story, but I promise you, when you see this video, you ain't gonna see it coming. That's what I love. Music and film has always been my thing. So I told myself, I'm gonna be on that stage one day, right? And 2 years later, I'm getting an introduction where Ace Metaphor is yelling my name, Demetri Wiley, and I'm walking out and Chicago's going erupt, right? Never once did I flinch. People ask me why I don't get nervous. I'm intentional with myself. I'm intentional with my goals, my wishes, my dreams, my desires. I'm intentional all the way around the board. You must be, in order for these things to properly be manifested into your life, right? And then intention. So it took all of the anxiety straight on out of my body. When I learned that I gotta show up for myself before I ask anybody to show up for me, I gotta show up for myself. Become intentional with yourself. It changes so much. Your self-esteem grows when you become more intentional. Why? Because you can lay clear-cut expectations on a table for yourself. This is what I'm going to get done. These are my intentions, right? And once you start seeing those things fall off and you checking them off, bang, 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 you're going to sit and you're going to realize, wow, I've done a lot. I've done a lot. I've done more than I thought I would be. Honestly, 2024 turned out to be one of the best years of my life. Why? Because I was moving very intentionally. Very intentionally. And a lot of times, this is what we have to do. We have to put our big boy pants on, put our big girl drawers on, big girl pants. I'm sorry, I don't want to PG-13 real. You know what I'm saying? You want to be able to put them on and say, I'm doing this for me, right? And then that self-intention spews over into you in dating, right? You will tolerate less because you're intentional. You can see everything that does not align with you. When you're moving with intention for self brings intention in dating, right? I'm not putting up with this shit. I'm not doing it because I take myself seriously. So I refuse to allow somebody to come in and play with me. You set boundaries when you're intentional, right? And you refuse to let those people pass. I'm telling you, learning to be intentional was one of the best things I've ever done for my life. It's changed my life, right? Because when you can be intentional with dating, you produce better results of what you're looking for. I don't think you understand what I'm saying. Let me break it down to you one more time. When you know what it is you want, what it is you desire, what it is your dreams have told you you want, right? Because you can't lie to your dreams. You can't lie to your mind. You know exactly what you want when you go to sleep. And your mind gonna tell you, hey, you want that man who look like X1Z. You know what I'm saying? That man who look like Michael B. And you know, I thought about doing this pod in my TikTok. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna do all that. Cause I've been in the bar, I've been in the gym a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I've been up in there. And the thing about it is, once you've been intentional with yourself and you set out everything you want, you stop going places that no longer suit you, right? If I know I want me a strong, educated Black woman who is on her job and takes herself seriously, right? I'm gonna go to every place where I can find just that. If I know I'm a good father, that's my intentions to be a good father. I know my intention is to find a woman who's going to be a good mother. I automatically X out women who aren't good mothers. I automatically X out people who are not good parents. You don't qualify. You ain't good enough to them kids to be good enough for me. Because if you don't show up for them, you can never show up for me. If you don't love on your people, you can never show up for me. I'm family oriented. It's my intention to be. I make sure the first few people I talked to in the new year, and I was shocked, y'all. This is the first time this has ever happened to me. The first few people I spoke to in the new year, of course, was Justice. Y'all know Justice, Charles, Rich. But even before them, I was on the phone with my little brother. I was on the phone with my mother. I was on the phone with my father and my older brother. And I don't know if y'all know it, but me and my older brother has always had a rocky relationship, right? There's been a lot of ego and pride that's lived in these spaces. I'm intentionally trying to repair that. And that one call, he called me. That one call shows me he's intentionally looking to do the exact same. So, bro, I know you may not watch these podcasts, but hopefully somebody relay this message back to you. I love you. Just that one call made my year. You understand what I'm saying? Thank you for that. And thank you for showing up the way, man, thank you for even if it hasn't always been the best, you showing up right now, and that's only what matters. That's only what matters to me. You're intentional right now in this moment. But intentionality plays so much more a part than you even understand. Because what happens is, now that you're intentionally dating, you cut out the middleman, you cut out the time wasted. If our intentions don't align, right, there's no more conversation that need to be had, right? You trying to make some sex, you know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to make a baby. It's different, right? That's not the space you're in your life, but that's the space I'm in mine. You trying to make some sex, I'm trying to make a baby. You know? And there's a lot of niggas out here just trying to make sex, right? But tell yourself this, I ain't laying down with no nigga I wouldn't feel comfortable giving a baby. That's intentionality. That's intentionality. You know, and a lot of times people struggle with that. People struggle with, let me tell you something. Just because fuck that. Just because that man is unclear of his intentions with you does not mean you have to be unclear of your intentions with others. If his vision don't work for you, your vision don't work for him. You don't see him in it. He's not in this picture you directing. He's not in this movie. He didn't make this cut. I said this on the Dear Future Wifey podcast. My intentions was off in my last relationship. In a relationship that spawned my child, my intentions was off. Let me tell you why. Of course it was love for me. Of course it was me attempting to love, right? But a lot of my intentions, even more of my intentions, was to fit somebody into a lead role that they didn't ask me for. My intentions was to make her love me. When I can't do that, that's not my job. My job is to show up exactly who I am as a man. To walk in my pure intentions. Y'all gonna get tired of me saying the word intentions, ain't you? But I'm gonna keep doing it. Intentions. I'm out now for the drop a song called Intentions. Fuck it. But the thing about it is, I was trying to fit her. She wasn't the co-star of this movie. I just wanted her to be. I cannot force my intentions on somebody else. But you know what I can do? I can intentionally keep it pushing if it doesn't align. And you know, where I fault myself is I had to reach the bottom to see that. I had to hit heartbreak to see just because I want her here. My intentions are pure. I'm going to love her. Just because that's the case does not mean that's the person. And a lot of time that's a hard thing to come to terms with. A hard thing. And what I'm gonna tell you, I tell people all the time, remove expectations from everything in your life and replace it with intention. Don't find people who expect great things out of you. Don't find people who want, whose intentions are to help you reach great heights. Not just the ones who saying, oh, this is what you should be doing. No, push them to the side. They're not even worth the time. Find someone who wants it for you, who's going to help you get it, who has good intentions for you. Because what that breeds is, okay, now you healthy and you intentionally dating, okay, great. Now you get in a relationship. And do you know what's prosperous? Your communication. Because you share a common goal. Your intentions are the same. My intentions are to better you. Your intentions are to better me. Again, I was having a conversation with my tap man earlier. Hey, my boy, you got to come to the podcast one day because they was loving the conversation. But I told him, if two people get in a relationship and their intentions are pure, how can it fail? I really want you to think about this for a second. Think about it. The only reason a relationship or any relationship you've ever been in did not work is because somebody didn't really want it. Somebody was lying. Somebody reached a point to where they didn't have good intentions for this relationship anymore. They was just here. Right? And you got to be willing to walk away from those people. You got to know they don't fit in your life. Right? Because think about it. Just let it soak in your brain. If you want it and I want it, nothing can stop it from working. That's why more than anything, more than finding somebody who's beautiful, or intellectual or fun to be around. More than any of that, I want someone with good intentions for me. I want someone who's going to love me down. Every love song you've ever envisioned, I want them to sing it about me. You understand what I'm saying? I want them to love me down. And I know for sure, like, I'm worthy of that. Because God has came in my life and shown me I'm worthy of that. You guys show me I'm worthy of that. On a day-to-day basis. Comment after comment, like after like, DM after DM, product purchase after product purchase. Y'all do it because y'all deem me worthy. And for that, I will forever sit and say the person that's sitting across from me, laying next to me, holding my hand, raising my children, they're going to know I'm worthy. They're going to have good, pure, healthy intentions for me. And all I'm going to tell you is move away from anyone who does not. Move away from any and everybody who does not. This year, 2025, we are practicing intentionality with self, with dating, with relationships, all around the board. There's no more being bamboozled by, no, we ain't doing none of that. Reason being, we too intentional with self to let you come in and self-destruct this and blow this up and make it seem like we ain't working how we working. You understand what I'm saying? So I just wanted to start with this. This is the first podcast of the year. There's so much more to come. We including guests now. I'm so excited for what's to come. This is a brand new season of Lost Lover Boy podcast. The best one yet, if you ask me. Stories, experiences, ideas. Listen, let me reiterate a few things. Little Lover Boy merch, Little Lover Girl merch is coming very soon. That's my son brand. And I'm so excited about it because one day he came to me and he was like, Daddy, I want to wear some merch, because he be seeing merch being sold on the YouTube channels he watching and stuff. Like he watch Lanky Box and all that. And he'd be like, I want to rock some of the merch, but I can't fit none. He in tears. I'm like, don't worry, Logan, we're going to get you some of your own. So that's coming very, very soon. I'm so excited about it. I'm so excited for him. He's ecstatic. We got brown and we got gray dropping very soon. I know I keep shooting off dates very soon, this month. Intentionality. That's what I told y'all. I'm working on it. So keeping my word is part of me being intentional. I'm on that. Right? What else can I tell you? Still on tour with tonight's conversation. Toronto, I will see you soon. Memphis, I will see you soon. St. Louis, I will see you soon. Memphis, I don't know if I could be outside because we got to get straight to St. Louis, but I still might. You know what I'm saying? I still might. You feel me? But Clubhouse. I know we haven't been on Clubhouse in quite a while. I know y'all mad at me, but we are throwing the first Clubhouse event. And it is officially sold out. I actually go visit the venue in the morning. If they tell me we can sell more tickets, I will sell more tickets. If not, I apologize from the bottom of my heart. I hate that you're going to miss it. I might just start sneaking motherfuckers in there. Drop some tickets and just start sneaking motherfuckers in there. But I don't want them to get on my ass and tell us we got to shut it down. It's going to be a beautiful event. Yes, it'll be beautiful conversation. Expect Justice, Diddy, Rich, my mother, my father. Logan might even pop through. You know what I'm saying? I'm so excited. It's my first event of the year. I plan on throwing an event. If you miss this one, don't worry. I plan on throwing an event every month, all the way up until June. And if it pans out that June goes where I want it to, we're gonna keep on going all the way throughout the year. So that's 12 events, all curated by me. I hope to see you. June is gonna be the biggest. June 23rd is my birthday. I plan on throwing a party concert June 23rd. Well, I don't know if it's going to be on June 23rd, but I know it's for my birthday, and I want everybody there. I want 800 people in attendance. I want exactly what I wanted last year. I'm intentional about it this year. I'm on it. I'm on top of it. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm so excited. It's so much going on. Granny, listen, it's been a minute. But baby, I love you. I see you, and I'm gonna bring you flowers tomorrow. Intentionality. Y'all will see it on my story. Yes, I brought my granny some flowers. I love that lady. And you know what's crazy? Every time I bring my granny flowers, I take my I don't want to say mother-in-law, because she's not my mother-in-law anymore. I don't think that's how that works. Logan's other grandmother, I'm gonna put it like that. I take her flowers too, because you are my baby as well. I love that lady. I've known her since I was in diapers. You know what I'm saying? And she's only ever been sweet to me. But intentionality is what we're focusing on this year. I love you guys. Happy New Year. I will see you next week. And what's that shit I be saying? Peace out. I think it's time I finally try to find myself. I've been running from love, just trying to hide from all this pain I felt. Look, trying not to be the joke in the deck of whatever cards get dealt. They say a star still gotta let them align.